Hello everybody. Today I'm just going to be doing another quick tutorial on one of my favorite outfits. It is a go-to for any themes that are kind of futuristic or sci-fi or even just android. This is my go-to outfit. It is like a cyborg outfit. So let's just get right into it. First we are going to be going into the salon. Now, I do have custom makeup, but if you do not, that is completely okay. You can actually just leave the face blank if you wish, because I will show you what you can do. That doesn't require a face. I'm just gonna go there. And now, I've just made the skin tone completely black, because that is gonna be the base. And then we are going to go here and get these gloves, and we are going to make them short and take the fur off, and then we're going to go into our patterns. Now I have this one favorited here, and I'm just going to make it metallic. We're going to do the same thing with the bottoms. Okay. Perfect. Now we are just going to go into the dressing room. And now you're going to go into the spring pack. It should be at the bottom of your screen. And here we have all our Cyborg equipment, which is really great. This is honestly one of my favorite updates. I use this quite frequently. Now, I do have these colors saved. If you want to kind of copy that, you can, or you can do whatever colors you want. Your Cyborg doesn't have to be this color. I just do it because it matches with the leggings. Alrighty, and then when we go over here to the pink, we are just going to go into patterns again and fill that. And metallic. Now, for skeleton, I use the darker of these colors, which is just that there. If you want to copy it, you can. Now, we are going to go here and do similar, where the first one's going to be the lighter color, the second one, pink, is going to be that. And the third one is going to be the darker color. And last but not least, we're going to go and do the same thing with the legs. Pink again is just going to be the pattern. And third one, that. Perfect. Now that we have our base here, we are going to go in. And now I do have these nails. These are kind of extra accessories that you don't necessarily have to have. These are just things I like to add to kind of give it some more depth. Same thing here. I do have this award that not everyone is going to have, and it's not completely necessary, but this is just something I like to add to give it a little bit more pizzazz. So I do just bring the scale up quite a bit, and I drop it all the way down, and then move it back behind the head. Actually, I'm just going to lift it slightly. There we go. Now I start with the dark color, and I have this really light color here. You can always use that as well if you'd like. I just use that for any bright highlights. Now, another thing I do like to add, and again, this is an extra item. In fact, this is one that I purchased, so not everyone is going to have it. But I kind of do the same thing. I scale it up, and I'm going to leave it about there, and then bring it back so it's just behind the head. And I'm going to do a similar thing there with the colors. In fact, I'm just going to make this one completely dark. Actually, no, I'm going to do slightly lighter for that. And now, another thing. This item is a code item, I believe, that you can get. Now, this is where, if you don't have custom makeup, this is perfect for you because you don't need a face. So I'm just going to go in with that. Let me just see. There are a few different things you can do. I think I'm going to do this one because I do prefer it. I'm going to make that metallic. Going to go in there. Can't do that, so I'm going to make that metallic as well. I am just going to do this again. Lighter color for the highlights. And then last but not least, you can make this fully bright, or you can leave it dark if you don't have a face and no one will see it. I'm just going to move it down just a tiny bit and scale it No, I'm going to leave it the same way. Okay, now that we have that, one last thing I do like to do, just go in here, and this is a purchased item as well that you can actually get in the store. I do like to use this just to kind of cover the neck area because it is very plain, so I'm going to go in with the pattern there, and as much as I can, because sometimes the pattern doesn't fill things, so then the rest of it I just go in with this dark color here. Except this gem I'm going to use the highlight. And I can go in and make these things metallic as well. Mind you, a lot of this is just kind of like extra, and a lot of times it's really up to you about how you want to do this. This is personally how I would do it though. Now we've just kind of covered the neck area just a little bit more. And lastly, we are going to want some shoes. Now, for shoes, these are kind of a go-to. They're very simple, but they are very handy, so I'm just going to go in, metallic, and then do metallic there. Perfect, so there's that. Now there are always extra things that you can add just in case. For example, if you really wanted, you could go in here and add some guns. And I would just go in here, do something like that. But anyway, that is the tutorial here for this little outfit. Mind you, a lot of this extra stuff is kind of up to you about how you want to accessorize, but the base stuff is going to be these Android items here. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy and that you can find some inspiration in this outfit. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.